Hey Homespot friends, welcome back to our tiny garden studio. Today we are turning simple branches into stunning mini sculptures that instantly transform your outdoor space. If you love DIY decor, cozy courtyards, and nature-inspired details, you are in the right place. Grab a drink, relax, and let us inspire your next beautiful garden focal point. In this tiny courtyard, our first sculpture is a mini spiral obelisk built from thin, flexible branches tied around 3 simple stakes. The structure twists gently upward, like a young vine reaching for the light. Nestled in a terracotta pot, it becomes a graceful vertical accent among low plants. This small piece is easy to build, yet instantly adds height, movement, and a touch of artistic drama to any compact garden corner. Here, a charming bird silhouette rises from a planter on a single slender branch stake. Short twigs are arranged to suggest wings, tail, and body, leaving small gaps that let the background peek through. The result feels light, airy, and playful, set against textured walls and leafy pots. This simple sculpture brings a sense of life and freedom, as if a wooden bird has paused here for a quiet rest in the courtyard. This tiny teepee shelters a single succulent like a miniature campsite in a courtyard. Several short branches lean together and tie at the top, forming a simple frame that feels cozy and intentional. Beneath, the succulent sits in a small pot surrounded by gravel, drawing the eye to its shape and color. The teepee adds height without blocking light, turning a basic plant into a focal point and creating a sweet, storybook moment in the garden. Our next idea transforms thin branches into a heart-shaped wreath mounted on a short stand. The curved twigs are tied together to form a rustic heart, then lifted above a pot filled with pebbles or soil. A few sprigs of greenery or tiny flowers can be woven through for extra softness. In a tiny courtyard, this piece becomes a gentle symbol of warmth and care, adding romance and personality without overwhelming the limited space. Here, flexible branches are shaped into a circular moon frame that hangs against a wall or from a simple hook. The layered twigs create a rough, organic ring, leaving the center open like a window. You can suspend a small crystal, bell, or air plant inside to catch the light and draw attention. In a tiny courtyard, this gentle circle adds a sense of calm, like a quiet moon watching over the plants and stones below. This idea creates a small, open-work sphere from intersecting twigs, tied together to form a light, airy ball. Gaps between the branches let light and shadow dance across the surface, especially when the sun moves through the courtyard. The sphere can rest on gravel, a stone, or the rim of a pot. It feels modern yet natural, turning simple sticks into a sculptural object that invites closer inspection without taking up much valuable space. Here, the sculpture is all about celebrating the natural curves of wood. Several twisted branches are bundled together at the base and allowed to fan outward, each one showing off knots, bends, and unique lines. Fixed in a pot with stones, the bundle becomes a vertical abstract piece, almost like a frozen firework. In a small courtyard, this design adds height and artistic interest while remaining incredibly simple to build with materials you can easily find outdoors. This sculpture captures the lightness of a dragonfly using only a few simple twigs. One straight piece becomes the body, while 4 flat twigs form delicate wings on each side. Tied together carefully, the shape is then mounted on a thin branch stake rising from a pot or small bed. The result feels whimsical and gentle, like a dragonfly pausing among the leaves. In a tiny courtyard, it adds movement and fantasy without needing much space at all. This idea brings a touch of magic overhead. Several small star shapes are formed by tying short twigs into 5-pointed figures, then hung together at different heights. Suspended from a simple branch, hook, or pergola beam, the stars move gently with the breeze. They cast shifting shadows on the ground and walls, giving the courtyard a dreamy, festive feeling. Even in a very small space, this light, hanging sculpture can instantly change the mood and add visual rhythm. In this piece, 4 twigs become a rustic frame that holds nature's artwork. The branches are tied into a simple rectangle, and inside you can place pressed leaves, dried flowers, or a collage of small natural treasures. Propped against a pot or mounted on a wall, it functions like a tiny gallery in the courtyard. This sculpture invites viewers to pause, look closely, and notice details in shape, color, and texture that usually pass by unnoticed. This sculpture mimics a fence in miniature, creating a charming backdrop inside a planter. Several vertical twigs are tied to 2 horizontal rails, forming a small panel that stands just behind flowers or herbs. The plants can peek between the sticks, softening the lines. In a tiny courtyard, this element suggests boundaries and structure without actually blocking space. It is perfect for adding depth to a flat area, making the planting feel more layered and thoughtfully designed. Here, branches imitate a flower, giving you a bloom that never fades. Short twigs form petals arranged around a central wooden knot, seed pod, or small stone. A slender branch acts as the stem, rising from a pot filled with soil or gravel. Placed among real plants, this wooden flower stands out as a handcrafted surprise. In a small courtyard, it adds a poetic note, combining the rough texture of bark with the familiar, comforting shape of a blossom. This hanging sculpture turns a simple spiral into a gentle garden chime. Thin branches twist downward, forming a loose corkscrew shape. From a few points along the spiral, small shells, beads, or seed pods dangle on fine strings. When the breeze moves through the tiny courtyard, they sway softly and tap together. The sound is subtle, the movement slow and calming. It is an easy DIY project that brings sound, motion, and visual interest into a very compact space. Here, branches form a crescent moon, partly dressed in soft green moss. Flexible twigs are curved and layered into a half circle. Then small patches of moss are attached along one side, creating contrast between rough bark and velvety growth. Hung on a wall or propped on a stand, the piece becomes a gentle lunar symbol for the courtyard. It works beautifully in tiny spaces, adding a mystical, natural focal point without demanding much room or maintenance. This sculpture imagines a little boat tucked into the garden. Curved twigs shape the hull, while a straight twig mast rises from the center. You can add a tiny sail from fabric or a large leaf. The boat rests in a shallow dish filled with pebbles that suggest water or shoreline. In a tiny courtyard, this scene feels playful and nostalgic, like a memory of childhood adventures, giving the space a narrative that visitors can instantly feel. Our final idea is a geometric pyramid made from equal-length twigs tied at the edges. The open structure creates strong, triangular lines while still feeling light. Inside, you can place a candle holder, a crystal, or a special stone, turning the center into a point of focus. In a compact courtyard, this pyramid works as a quiet altar to nature and light, adding order and symmetry that contrast beautifully with wild leaves and weathered surfaces around it. Thank you so much for spending time here in our tiny courtyard today. You have seen how simple branches can become unique sculptures and powerful focal points, even in the smallest garden. If these ideas spark your creativity, tap like, subscribe to Homespot, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments. Your support helps this channel grow and brings more cozy garden inspiration to you.